go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart, along with the altcoin market. We take a look over there at the United States stock market, which is set to open up in the next 2 minutes, along with taking a look over there at the DXY, or the US dollar currency index, and precious metals like gold to see if it's done anything at all, which it's just been stuck in a range for a long time. After that, of course, we take a look over there at any type of financial news going on out there in the world and any type of crypto news going on out there in the world. We actually have kind of like two crazy things going on today. One, Bitcoin stabbing at that 702 Fibonacci retracement today. And if you don't know it, John Deaton announced his candidacy for Senate in Massachusetts, running against the devil, Elizabeth Warren. So let's go, John. We will take a look at that later. Guys, you know what? We don't do politics on this channel. We don't, I'm not here to sway you politically. I'm in any way. We always keep that stuff sidelined. I've had dinner with John. Like, I know John. Like, we've sat down, had conversations. A lot of the stuff that you read about in his book or heard about in his book, I was privileged to know a lot of that stuff in our private conversation before that, and I kept my mouth shut about it because it's personal information, but he revealed a lot in the book. So absolutely phenomenal to see him run for it. One of the most important facts about him on endorsing him is that you should know that when I ate dinner with John, he does order his steak medium rare. So he is safe, okay? Not medium, not well done, not any of that. Medium rare. He's a good guy. We're all good, guys. Okay, looking over there at Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and dive on into the charts. Bitcoin tried to take a stab at its 702 Fibonacci retracement this morning. It came up $50 short. It was like it was a short squeeze this morning to try and go and hit it. On the volume, like the volume that we saw was extreme volume. It looked just like a short squeeze. The last time you saw that type of volume, it was the same thing, a short squeeze to go back up to the top. We're just hovering underneath the 702 retracement, waiting to see, are people getting distributed on for the last week? Is everybody FOMO buying the top? We'll see. We'll see. Pat, man, 20. Geez, brother. Thank you, man. All right, there you go. Bitcoin took a stab at the 702. I put out a video yesterday because there was no markets in the morning due to it being President's Day. If you don't recall, last year, President's Day, that's the day that I actually came on here and went live. Didn't know the markets were closed. And PTW walked in with a note and said, Pres Day, markets closed? Question mark. Let me see. Do I still have that note here? It's one of those ones. Sorry, I hit in the microphone. It was one of those ones I had saved. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Okay. So, yeah. What am I talking about? Yesterday was President's Day, and I took the day off, obviously, but I put out a 37-minute YouTube video. Now, the main reason for just being off it was simply because I have children. My children are loud. At least one of them is exceptionally loud. And even there at the very end of the video, you might have been able to hear him a little bit. Otherwise, talking about the markets in yesterday's video. But, here we are, Bitcoin at the 702 retracement. We had a little bit of what appears to have been a little bit of a short squeeze to try to go stab it this morning. Looks like it's pulled back since then. As for the altcoin market, you guys know it. We've been watching Wyckoff accumulation. We have escaped from the sign of strength phase. I'm still just real cautious on becoming moon boyish just yet due to my thoughts that I think Bitcoin is going to ABC correct from right in here, and that we would see that just happen right in here for total 2 as well. And then after that, it's boosters, thrusters engaged. We go for full-blown markup after that. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for the market market. If it goes right now, it goes right now, right? You had a year and a half to accumulate this market. If you missed it, if you sat sidelined, go find another channel to help you with that. On here, it's not gonna be the case for you for finding entries at this point. You had a year and a half for it. So just for me, it's kind of like expectations on, when do I think we could go? And I still just think there's likely some pulling back to happen in here. The story is the same over there for XRP, right? I covered this late into the video yesterday. We'll review this because we talk about this all the time here on the YouTube channel with XRP and in Markets in the Morning. The thing that we had been watching for the last really month or so, right, is to have that pushback, right? We talk a lot about how when bottoms come in, the market gets tricked into thinking the first bottom is the true bottom. We back test, and then you go for the plunge. That's the one that shakes the market out. We went and used examples from Bitcoin in the past. We use other charts from the past, and that's just typically how bottoms get marked. The first one is the trick. Everybody thinks they caught the bottom. Boom, you get flushed, and that psychologically washes people out. Just absolutely perfect. You get horrible negative news to happen right at that exact time. Since then, we've done exactly what we've looked for. We've come back out throughout the weekend. We bent back and slammed right into 54 cents as we were looking for it to happen. My thoughts are still just, I think we're going to just stay here because of Bitcoin. I think we're just going to stay here for just a minute. And then afterwards, it's all about seeing us find some supports here to work our way up. When it comes to negative sentiment and behavior, of course, where does it all happen at? It happens on top of the 200-week moving average. Everybody flips negative. It's toxic as can be over there on Twitter. Where the psychological points are, right? And it's, again, just kind of zooming out. We're like real trapped into this little time frame that we're in right now, but keeping in mind just really where you actually are, right? So we have been here. Let's get this thing off. Why is that on? There we go. All right. Well, either way, we'll leave it on there. Who cares? Right. Wyckoff accumulation, right? This is our breakout that happens from news. It takes it all back. Makes sense. This is what the whole market does. We've had to talk a lot about it. I'm like pretending this thing doesn't even exist here, that this is all Wyckoff that's happened in here. Take this, right? This is the whole market in here. Where's July 13th? July 13th is right here, right? Does the whole market go way up here? No, it's like a one-off event that ends up happening in here. And having to look at it from the mindset of like that, right? Like we're working out just like that. And so where we were back at coming out of the sign of strength phase and trying to finish that phase up on top of the supports here. And now just waiting for us to mark up, right? Fortunately, just like always, get prepared. There's going to be all the narratives to go along with it. What is happening in the whole market? The whole market is going up. This is the time where you see price move for XRP. It doesn't happen in isolated events. There's going to be lots of stuff sold to you in regards to flipping the switch and events upon events and conspiracies upon conspiracies. And if you haven't been through a bull market, the price targets get irrational. They get insane. People don't care about it, right? But just kind of keeping it all in mind, right? Like no matter what, if we are blessed to the heavens to get above $9, I will have sold 65% by then, if we are blessed with that opportunity. So, okay. There you go. Waiting for it. Again, we want to hold these levels, right? You want to hold that 200-week moving average. Particularly, it'd be nice to just have a simple back test come back in here. That's really what I'm thinking we're going to have in here, along with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin really tried. It actually missed it by $50 by hitting that 702. But dang, that's close. Again, it would make a whole lot of sense to me if we actually end up doing something along the lines of an A, B, C correction, works its way back up, it gets through, everybody loses their dang mind, and then lights out, right? That would make a lot of sense to me, but we'll see. We'll still see if it ends up trying to stab at it again right here. So that was a short squeeze, it appears. And again, now a whole week sitting underneath the 702. Retail going wild, buying it up, soaking it up underneath there. So we'll see how things go. But there you go. Let's see if there's any divergences. I mean, there, right? So you see all these divergences happening in here. You see the MACD completely falling. You see the relative strength index pulled back, but yet price has still held itself up here. So we'll see how things go. But there you go. Underneath the 702, waiting for a reaction to come out for Senor Bitcoino. All right, there you go. A little bit of green over there. XRP is green for the day. Everybody probably appreciating that. But there you go. Price over there. Moving over to the stock market, United States stock market. Not too bad. Not as bad as it was in pre-market. Dow is down 6 points now that it is open. The S&P is down 20 points, and the NASDAQ is down 105. So you're down 0.6% for the NASDAQ, down 0.4% for the S&P, and even. There you go. Even bouncing around even over there on the Dow Jones. Winners and losers of the morning are GE, United Health, and Meta. Losers are Nvidia, Coinbase, ARK, Tesla. There you go. Moving on over there to metals. Let's take a look over here. There's the NASDAQ, right, guys? The NASDAQ has hit the 4.236 extension up there. Woo-wee. Living in it. Living in the moment. Retail doesn't care at all. Just like the 1920s. Okay. Where's the Dow? There's the Dow. Okay. The Dow has come up just a hair short still. It hasn't gotten there just yet. So the Dow is still trying to hold itself alive here while you have that NASDAQ pulling down more after already hitting it. Moving over there to the DXY 103.85, so down a little bit. We now have a lower low over there for the DXY. That may have been good enough as we measured up. That was a 618 retracement there for the DXY, so that could have been good enough there for it. We've been watching that for the last couple of months. Moving over there to gold. So gold back above $2,000 at $2,028. If you haven't read this newsletter yet, gold is definitely flashing a big warning for those who are anticipating a major Bitcoin bull run and a major stock market explosion. That gold is flashing the exact same signals that it flashed here. And here. It is not flashing the same signals that you got on that breakout, which Bitcoin breaks out, on that breakout, which Bitcoin breaks out, or on that breakout, which Bitcoin breaks out. So this is a new all-time high for the Dow. Bitcoin did not follow along. I think I'm having a problem with my stream. I think my stream, I keep getting there, and it says excellent connection now, but it was flat bouncing all around saying you're having problems. Okay. Anyway, gold, yeah, still holding up. If you guys have read the newsletter and you checked into all of that stuff over there on blockchainbacker.substack.com, you know what's going on. Gold still holding itself up just as it has prior to C19 and prior to the great financial crisis. So keep your eyes peeled. Ethereum got above the 50% retracement level right before the week closed last week. It has been trying to knock on 3,000's door. So right there, still above $2,900 currently right now. Fantastical. Looks like Bitcoin's shifting down even more. Let's go take a look at it. There you go. Short squeeze failure. There you go. Was that it for Bitcoin? Might have been. All right. I think that's really it. As for, okay, first of all, this headline over here. Market starts to speculate if the next Fed move is up, not down. Okay, Bloomberg. That's not true. 91% probability of a pause, 8.5% of a cut, 62% chance of a pause in May with a 35% chance of a cut, and then priced it at 80% chance of a cut in June. There is no market speculation priced into this market of the Fed raising rates. If that changes, hey, we'll address it, but you see it right here. There's nothing pricing in a hike. I've talked about this too, that I think that the Fed is checkmated. Straight up, they're checkmated. Is this stream working? Can you guys tell me in the chat? Can you guys let me know? It's working here. Pat says it's working. Okay. Everybody says you're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I see it on my numbers. Like I've lost over half my viewers. Like something happened. I don't know. I'm just sitting here rambling like I always do. Okay. Thanks, guys. Cool. Everybody's saying we're good. Anyway, yeah, market is not pricing in rate hikes. But it's going to be important to see that the second week of March, we will get that inflation data. That is likely going to be the bottom of CPI. Boom, look at that. Look at that for Bitcoin. Okay. How about that? All right. How's the stock market? NASDAQ down 168. There you go. There's a chance we have seen the top of the NASDAQ, right? We've hit it, right? We have hit it. There is a chance it is in. The case that's still available, right? The thing that we still have. Oh, man. Do you guys see me? I'm gone again. Yeah, it shows gone again on my side. Let me refresh this screen. Down to 896. What is going on here? Okay, I'm back. Hi. Gone. We see, I don't know what it is. It's glitching like crazy. All right, YouTube. All right, so here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to make this stream quick because, I don't know, I'm down to 900 viewers. Clearly, everybody's getting rugged. My stream is getting rugged. We'll make it quick just so I'm not messing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on with these things. Either way, there you go. The NASDAQ getting pummeled this morning. Bitcoin gets within $50 of its 702 retrace. Big short squeeze. Rejected on that short squeeze happening in there. Altcoin market, still thoughts are looking for pullback in here. XRP bounces off the 200-week moving average a couple weeks ago with the absolute negative news. Everything looks gravy and sunshines and rainbows so far. The thing we want to that I think is still going to happen is that we are going to see a second back test of 54 cents. We got the first one. Boom. It hit exactly where it should. Oh, I should announce I did buy it, right? Told you guys I would buy it. I did buy it. It's not massive, but it was like an addition of like 1.5% to my XRP stack. Things I'm thinking about, but I don't know yet. If I do it, I'll tell you. I don't know if the market will give it to me. I've got some coins that are like way up. I've got some stuff that is just up, 600, 700, 800%. And whether to jam it in there. I don't know. I might. If I do, I'll let you know. But yeah, I did add. It was about 1%. And then if we get back down in here, it may be a rotation of stuff that is just way up. Way up. Okay. Trying to think, is there anything else we want to cover in here before I get rug pulled again? NASDAQ, keep an eye on it. Rejected off the 4.236 so far. Bitcoin, boom, it got so close. It got within $50 of the 702 retracement. I was texting with somebody. If you guys caught my video yesterday, I said all the breaking news Twitter accounts have their Bitcoin hit 53K tweets ready to go. They had them all ready to go. And Bitcoin hit like 52,999, and none of the breaking news accounts got to do their 53K, right? Every 2% just massively celebrated. But there you go. 702, big whack there for Bitcoin. But all is okay. It doesn't, this is just part of my hypothesis of the market at this point, that we see some type of correction pull down in here for Bitcoin. But as for the stock market, very red over there today. The only ones in the green are just barely in the green, which is GE and United Health. Otherwise, lots of red over there. Nvidia's down 4%, Coinbase 3, ARK 2, Tesla 2, Roblox 2, Caterpillar 2, Amazon 1.5, along with Netflix. So red day as the NASDAQ is getting swapped. Google, United Health, and GE in the green. All right, there you go. Ethereum holding up well. So Ethereum still at 29.35. XRP, again, you guys know what we're looking for. All right, I'm just kind of bouncing around rambling. Let's go through the news really fast. Capital One to buy Discover for $35 billion in year's biggest deal. Dang! Okay, Capital One's buying Discover. We already did that. Not true news. Bill Ackman rockets up best paid hedge fund list. Hey, welcome back, guys. We're back to 1800. I don't know what was going on with the stream. It rugged everybody. I don't know what happened. China's bold mortgage rate cut met with lukewarm reaction. Walmart gains a strong results. Their deal to buy TV maker Vizio. So Walmart's buying Vizio. U.S. warns against Israeli assault. Again, more war news over there on Bloomberg. As for CNBC, Walmart buys Vizio for $2.3 billion. Home Depot beats earnings estimates even as consumers take on smaller home improvement projects. Good for Home Depot. They were struggling. Capital One to acquire Discover. Tuesday's analyst calls. Airline upgrades. Industrial giant gets a downgrade. Elon Musk says first Neuralink patient can control a computer mouse through thinking. It's over, people. We're doomed. We're doomed. You think you're going to be competing against AI? No, you're going to be competing against telepathy. All right. Moving on to crypto news. Concerns over Athena USD's promise of 27% yield following mainnet launch. Oh, by the way, we'll talk about this really quick, guys. I don't know what the right answer is, but you guys ask me all the time, how can I find those new coins? One, I don't own this new coin, but I don't, the hardest thing about buying new coins in the initial very beginning of it is whether or not you're going to get wrecked right out of the gates. It's really hard to know. Here's just some examples, right? So some stuff that I've bought and stuff that has gone well and stuff that took a while, right? This is Celestia, right? In its first week out, I bought this. I had intended to make a bigger entry into it and was waiting for it to get lower. And it left me behind where I only got 40% of my entry in, okay? I'm just showing you these things and how I found them. And it's through the exact same stuff that I show you guys. It's the developer data, right? So one of those ones has been developer report. This was one that was showing up as a lot of developers on it, highly anticipated. It comes out, and then, boom. And then just after a week, boom, it lifts off and it just goes flying to the upside, right? But an example of one that didn't do that and it took more time is Sui, right? So here's Sui. This one it launches. It's the same story. It's a lot of development activity. It gets launched and then it just trends down for a long time, and then eventually, whoop, up 400% from here. But look how long you're in here. You're here from May all the way to October, May, June, July, August, September, October. 5 months of downtrending until finally it reverses and heads back up there. That's the challenge with these new coins. You have no back data to go look at and say, is it time? Is it appropriate? Right? You just don't have it. But people ask, how do I find these? Well, first, I find them by looking at the developer report and seeing where are the most developers, where's the most activity, And then when it gets released, these are the problems you have when they get released. And so, like, one of the things people are like, well, why didn't you say anything about it when it came out and say that you're buying it? It's because I don't know if it's going to do this. And I don't know if it's going to do that, right? Like, I just don't know right out the gates on how it's going to end up going. But one that they did have, and I don't own it yet. Starknet. Okay, that's one of those ones that comes out in there. So if you want to keep your eyes on one, this was one launched today. The things that were positive about SUI and about Celestia is that the major exchanges listed it on day one. So that was a little bit of reassurance to be like, okay. So maybe keep an eye on this to see if like Coinbase actually, like, if you're looking for like confirmation, because right now the only place I see it, like KuCoin, I'm not going to go grab something that's only on KuCoin. I'd like to see it on Coinbase. I'd like to see it everywhere else like that. So if you want one to be like, hey, I want to take a shot at something, but knowing it could be months of crap or it could take off, you don't really know, but there's like not a bunch of bag holders stuck on it. This was one of those ones that was in the developer report and it launched this morning. Okay. So there you go. Do whatever you want with it. I don't own it yet. I'm not even sure I will, but I know you guys wanted to see how I found those when they happened. This is how. Following the developer report, when they come out, I'm aware of it and I'm watching it. So there's one of them. Go do your research. Go find what you want to find, and Godspeed. I don't know what it's going to do. Okay. And you're going to see that here in a second. Starknet token begins trading. Front page of CoinDesk. Okay. That's why we're talking about it. All right. Concerns mount over Athena, USD. Okay. Blah, blah. Bitcoin holdings on Coinbase reach lowest level since 2015 as whales withdraw 1 billion Bitcoin. Bitcoin price dices with 52K as CME Bitcoin futures open interest hits record $6.8 billion. That's not concerning. That's not concerning. Record open interest. Hong Kong crypto stock surge. OKX to invest in layer ones. Asia Express 2024 will be the Ethereum network's biggest year in history. Well, shouldn't every year technically be its biggest year in history? Coinbase drops native Bitcoin payments from merchants platform. Fixed float confirms $26 million exploit in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Binance to shut down multiple levered token services. ECB executives respond to bank objections to digital euro and suggest priorities. Grok AI model goes viral and rivals Chat GPT. Challenges. How do you pronounce it? Grok versus Grok? Okay. So Grok AI is a Grok versus Grok. Okay, whatever. Don't care. All right, CoinDesk. Starknet token STRK begins trading at $5 after mammoth airdrop. Fully diluted value of STRK reached as high as $50 billion with an initial market cap of $3.64 billion. Okay, so the market cap $3.64 billion at $5. Yeah, I'd want to see that come way down. That's a lot to be the initial amount. Already at 3. If you're at 3 upon launch, what rank does that put you at? Puts you like at rank 35. That number right? Fully diluted or as high as $50 to the initial market cap of 3.64. So that would be at $5. It would be that. Right? Because that's as high as it went, $5. Now it's half of that. But that's not what it says here. STRK. Yeah, it's ranked number 48 already. But anyway, there you go. That gives you an idea, guys. So to understand that stuff, right? So it's something to pay attention to. This was something that was in the developer report as being worked on, highly active development. Boom, today was token day. Maybe this thing rejects, the ABC correction comes out of here. During that time period, this token falls drastically. Just know there's a lot of hype about it. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but you guys wanted to know how I got Sui. You wanted to know how I got Celestia. This is how I did it. Okay. There was no magic to it. I didn't have any insider information or any type of like secret gems that you can find by doing the secret thing that I do. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Go to developer report. It's totally free and educate yourself. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think we've covered it all. But we're going to talk about Mr. John Deaton here in a second. So there you go. 702 retracement over there for Bitcoin. Altcoin market, right? Looking for a little pulley backy. XRP story the same. And looking to see 54 cents really act as a supportive area in there. Glad to see we're back above 2,000 viewers. Looks like we've on a streak now of this thing not collapsing on us, this stream. I think we've pretty much covered everything. NASDAQ down 168. Dow is up. What's ironic about that? We've already seen the NASDAQ hit the 4.236 extension, but the Dow has been about a 0.5% short. It's 0.4% short of being what the Roaring 20s was, and 0.8% short of the 4.236 extension. All right. Big news. Mr. John Deaton has announced that he's running against the devil herself, Elizabeth Warren. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to play John's little... No, I don't know if he has music in that thing. He might have music in that. I have to be careful. I can't play it. Here you go. Go check it out at johndeatonforsenate.com. Sorry, guys. I have to be careful. This could, like, whenever there's stuff like that, if there's music in there, I don't know if that could end up being bad. So, like, yeah, YouTube has strict copyright stuff, so I can't do that. You know, I could play the frog because the frog has been given free rights to be able to play. But like other stuff, like I don't even do it. Like when we have the Fed, I can't even. But if he says there's just a beat, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he bought rights to that beat. I don't know whose beat that is. No, I'm not playing it. All right. Sorry, John. Check it out on Twitter. I'll probably share it on Twitter. All right. And I'm blockchain backer, and I approve this candidate. There you go. All right, Bitcoin hit 52,000. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the chat. That's what's going on today. Bitcoin has gotten back. It was actually $50 short of the 702 retracement. I'm, of course, watching all weekend to be like, are we going to get it? And then you get it really on kind of a short squeeze type of move that happened here this morning before markets opened. Markets open, boom, right back down it goes after that short squeeze kicked in. Great moves over here in crypto. It's just been excellent to end up leaving that sign of strength phase. Still, I just have this expectation that we're going to just whack back into it at some point. So kind of remaining cautious to be like a super big moon boy. I am a moon boy on altcoins. That's where the percentages get made in this market. There's nothing to make in Bitcoin. Nothing. So I have no interest in that. That's just a hard thing about math. Anybody who is chasing anything higher, right? 200% to get here. What do you need to get 200% more? All right, just even from there. To get 200%, you need $150,000. Now do the math on your portfolio. Go do the math. Is that going to be great for you? Is that going to be excellent end of cycle, end of stock market, 200% from where you're at? Not me. Not me. That's where it's at. Okay, enough being a jerk. All right, Andy Philpott. gifted five BCB memberships. Thank you so much. And Pat had gifted 20, man. Pat, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Australia at the XRP Gold Coast event, which I don't have that up. Let me see. Gold Coast 2024. Okay, I'll get to that later. All right. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Pat. Miles Pry, BCB. I'm on a company trip and we stopped at a Waffle House. The staff was talking about the Fed, and one said that he said he was sidelined till they cut rates to buy crypto. It's over. Right. Lots of influencers giving incredibly incorrect information, acting like economists, acting like they understand markets. They have not studied anything for 1 second. 1 second. Fed cutting is horrific. Horrific. Okay? I know I'm passionate about... Oh, the stream died again. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't. All right, we're going to end it. I'm going to get through the super chats. Jeez. All right, I'm back. Am I back? Say yes if I'm back. Okay, I'm back. All right. Guys, we're going to get through this quick. I'm not going to torture you with this anymore. I appreciate you all coming out. I appreciate you being persistent and hitting the refresh and wanting to hang out with me. Like, it's awesome. But yeah, we're down to 632 viewers now. They're like, what is going on? No, you know what they're doing? Like, my YouTube channel is getting DDoSed. Because I'm over here, like, preaching the message of the 702. And they're like, kill the stream. Kill the stream. We need to sell to the retail. He's going against it. And maybe politics. Maybe John Deaton. Elizabeth Warren is on the other side of this too. Hey, Elizabeth. There's John Deaton. He's cool. All right, I got to get through this quick. Miles, yeah, it's just a complete misconception of the Fed cutting. And if you need to read my newsletter, and if you think for half a second I'm wrong, if you think for half a second that I'm wrong, and so many influencers can't be wrong, it's just Blockchain Backer who's wrong. Go read my newsletter. You will find out very quickly. All right. Philip Mann gifted 1 BCB membership. Philip, thank you very much. Ben Wills, hey, BCB, are you buying Starknet? We already covered that. Not yet. I think for me, it would be in an event that ABC, I'll take a stab at it there. I'll take a stab. What a beautiful singing voice you have, says Maddie B. Thank you very much. Do I dare do it? I'm not going to do it. All right. Maddie B, thank you. Mets Media. Is it likely alts will take off after Bitcoin sea leg? That is, well, first of all, they're already in motion, right? Like, this is the thing, too. The narrative that they haven't been in motion is silly. Like, it reversed a long time ago, right? The reversal of the altcoin market happened in June, right? Whether your individual coin didn't do it or whatever, right? The reversal of the altcoins happened versus Bitcoin happened in June. So what are we at? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. We are now 8 months in. Massively gained more steam over there in October, right? But as for like the excessive, crazy, wild stuff where it gets ridiculous, my hypothesis of the market, where's Bitcoin? Right here. Is that it starts where it gets excessive here. I guess I'm dropped again. I can already tell, right? That it starts right here. And that we get something along the lines of Oh my gosh, it's through 702. Blockchain backer knows nothing. Going to the moon. And then it all ends right there. That's my current thesis. I will not, and like I've been through this rodeo before, and I appreciate your words of encouragement where like, you guys know I'm taking it on the chin on social media, right? Whenever I even said it like in my initial post in here where I'm like, all right, I'm starting to take some profits off the table for Bitcoin after riding the whole thing up. It was tough. It was a rough ride going through all of that. It was fun for all of us to be on the same team for a little while. But now I know that I'm going to switch to being the enemy. And in my long-winded tweet, I say, I don't like being the villain. I don't like playing that, but I know how these things go. I know that I'm going to be the villain. And that's just historically how it is. All throughout here with laser eyes and diamond hands, I sold 65% of my Bitcoin right here. Right here. Ha, what a clown. What an idiot. Like, I've just been here before. Here, right? Even my own audience, like I gave every single thing of saying, we're not going to 100K. We're not going to 100K. And in my own polls of the people who watch me and follow me, 2/3 of them thought I was wrong. Of people who like support me, like, hey, BCB, I love you, but you're wrong, buddy. And then, of course, there's the clowns who are like, you're going to wreck people. They're going to miss out on life-changing gains because they're listening. Down here, just admit it's a bear market, right? Like in a year and a half. It is always like this on my channel. It is just constant fight against the crowd. I don't know where I'm going with that. I appreciate your words of encouragement. I thank you very much. It does mean a lot. It's not fun to be perceived as the enemy. Everybody wants to play the game of, F this guy. And then that's just how it goes. It's part of it. The reason people stick around is enough people have gone through enough of these things with me to see that happen. So like, this is not, for a lot of you guys, this isn't your first rodeo to see people doing that to me too. But the funniest part about it all is for those who did stick around through all of this. We said it would happen here. And you're living in it and breathing in it and watching it actually happen. So it's fascinating. But yeah, as for like excessive stuff with the altcoin market, where like the excessive moves come, this is my current hypothesis. That we haven't gotten there yet. And I've talked all about this a lot in the last couple of videos and live streams. That's my hypothesis currently right now. That the excessiveness, a couple of waves of excessive in altcoin market, but that I think we need to ABC correct first, and that we still hold up here for the altcoin market, but in that ABC correction, you pull back down in there, and then the excessive waves begin. So we'll see if that continues. If things change, watch for it quickly. Like the thing we don't want is that, right? That a straight line down, like back into the 30s, like, oh crap, that's not good. But for, definitely controlled behavior in here. And also what you look for in a wall of worry, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit more too. So things that would be optimistic in a wall of worry is once we get to where participants are not scared of the dip. So that's a really important psychology to think about, in that every dip is utterly terrifying, right? So we go through all of them, right? This one is the banking crisis. This one is the SEC suing Coinbase and Binance. This one is just a 5-minute massive FTX style liquidation that happens in 5 minutes. But all of your favorite content creators telling you we're crashing and going to the lower ground. And we stay there for a long time, so the whole crowd gets on board with it. This one, post ETF, sell off, right? Then falls. Look for negative news, right? Look for something to scare people about the dip and be worried, right? If that's the case, if people get scared and terrified of the dip, that's a good sign. right? To go try to go after it one more time. But then there becomes the point where the crowd is not scared of the dip, where at no point in any way is the crowd scared of the dip. And if that happens, if we get through a dip, there's no negative news, there's no crowd panicked. Everybody's like, we've learned our lesson. You buy the dip. That's what you always do. That's definitely the mark that we are only retracing beyond then. And so to keep that in mind, again, like we talk about these things way ahead of time, and then we get into the moment, and like the people are so drunk on their emotions, they forget about that. As long as people are scared to buy the dip, that's a good sign. It's when there's unwavering confidence and cockiness to buy the dip. That's it. Game is over. Okay. Pat also gifted 5. Pat, thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Annie Philpott. AJ Wrights had the same issue. He had no views. Okay, yeah, so YouTube is screwing up today. Gaining value. Thank you, Andy. Gaining value, thank you. He says, I've been kicked out of your stream 2 times, but you still rock. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to get through it quickly and wrap it up relatively fast. Jay Wiles, I know it's if the plan instead of selling 30% of ETH does it makes sense to put the stop loss slightly lower than the target price once it crossed it. I know if the plan instead of selling 35% does make sense to put the stop. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Just depends on what you want to do. If you just want to see if it's going to break out, right? So like third range boundaries. Right. Everybody wants to go into it thinking they're going to like nail everything, but they have literally no plan, right? So like if you don't have a plan on being able to be the one to perfectly sell the top, then what are you going to do? You got to blindly guess that you're selling the top. So instead of trying to blindly guess that you're going to be the one to actually sell the top, the more controlled way and risk managed way is to let the top come in and to let it fall and then try to get into a retracement and having those retracement boundaries set and then saying, hey, I'm going to get out of the retracements, but I have stop losses above the last ones. Then if you end up getting if you have your stop taken out, then you've got to re-enter a new one here, which means you can get washing machined 2 times in there, stopped back and forth 2 different times. But that's the way that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Otherwise, just sell, walk away, and not care what ends up happening afterwards is what people will do. But, you know, again, and like most of these people who are like shooting for the moon, they have no real target. They're listening to Twitter mice and Twitter dogs and cats and frogs telling them where the price target is. And then they say, no, blockchain backer. The mouse said, we go. They have no plan. None. Didn't that same mouse tell you 12K for all of 2023? Yes, but things change. ETFs. Okay. Yeah, Jay, however you want to treat third range boundaries. Stakes at 135. Did you see Matt Gaetz is pushing for a vote on banning Congress from buying stocks? Yet another sign of the top. Good to know that Deaton likes his stakes medium rare. Yeah, incredibly important. Especially from stakes at 135, right? That's right up your alley. Again, it looks like my stream is screwing up again. The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate of a higher amount. I'm not doing anything differently. All right, we're going to get through this quick. No, I didn't. But again, not until they ban themselves to it. It doesn't mean anything. Jay Wiles, thank you. Jay Wiles, I have 25% hedge of alt portfolio with BITI at $10 to $11 in case market turns over. Looks like BITI to 179 for 3K Bitcoin, about a 15x. Well, it depends on how long that would take. What if it took 5 years for Bitcoin to fall? And then, knowing what the erosion is of beta, I don't know what the erosion rate is. That's what you got to be careful about with those ETFs when you're holding them for long term. Steve, thank you. Stephen Edinburgh gifted a BCB membership. Brother, thank you. Jay Wiles, thank you, Stephen. Jay Wiles says, once we start to get Ethereum 618 and 702, what would be a good stop loss level be on Ethereum, XRP, and ADA? Well, it depends on how you're going to treat it. Like, I think I just explained that. It's very simple on a third range boundary, right? If you've rode the whole way up, it's very simple. Cutting here, stop loss above all retracement levels, right? If you end up getting pulled back in, your stop loss then moves down to below the 618, right? But most people, they just can't, they can't stomach losing 8%, right? If you sell and it goes up, what happens? You lose 8%. It's opportunity costs, right? And for most people, it's just this is just a massive emotional game for them. There's no game plan. But that's how I treat it. If I cared about Bitcoin, like if I cared about re-entering it, that's how I would be treating it. I don't care about re-entering Bitcoin because if Bitcoin does go blasting through here, I'm already super positioned in here. Those altcoins are going to go absolutely berserk. Worrying about Bitcoin can be for a later time, right? If Bitcoin goes breaking out, if we are starting a true cycle, which all economic data suggests we are not, is hypothetical, which I don't believe it to be. If that was the circumstance, right? Altcoins would get so skyrocketed to oblivion that Bitcoin just percentage-wise can't keep up. And we showed that earlier. The Bitcoiners will lose their dang mind over that 36%. We saw Filecoin up that yesterday. You saw HBAR up that yesterday, right? They will lose their mind. It's not of interest for me because of what would be occurring in the remainder of the market in that circumstance. So that's why even in this circumstance with Bitcoin, I'm not going to be chasing it if that ends up happening because of my exposure here in the altcoin market. But if you were treating it as a trade, the way I treat these things is out, stop. If that stop gets taken, there's the new stop. If it goes back below there, F it. F this noise. That's what happens to that. I'm done with it. Moving on. Checkmate podcast. Hey, BCB, it would be awesome to have you on my podcast and talk more about your story and journey into Web3. Let me know. DM you on. I appreciate it. I get invited on podcasts and on everything. Like I've got a couple close friends that I like hang out with. Like I'm going to be doing the Twitter space with King Solomon from Genfinity today. I've known that guy for like 4 years. I go on XRP show just to goof off and get asked Taylor Swift stuff and weird questions and stuff and just hang out and support him and what he's working on. But I get invited on shows all the time. I just don't do them. It's got nothing to do with like, oh, I'm too good for that. It's like I just don't. And it's just more of a time management thing. One of the ones that I've been dabbling with, but just haven't pulled the trigger. Like the guys from Real Vision, they're trying to get me on their show, but I'm just not a thing. Maybe there'll be a day where I go around doing it, right? I think I'm more of just like focused in my lane right now to be going on podcasts and stuff like that. So what is going on with the stream? Yeah, Brandon, John, you're getting kicked, man. Mr. Q wants to invite me to a well-done steak show. All right, Brandy Brown gifted 5 BCB memberships. Thank you very much. Brady, I said Brandy. Brady Brown, thank you very much. Gifted 5. Giorgio Artemis, hey BCB. Bitcoin is a 95% crash from here to 3K. Anticipating alts will crash 90% as well. Can this help with picking out price targets? Must this be priced in? Oh yeah, of course. If Bitcoin crashed to 3K, the altcoin market's probably going to crash there too. But you know what everybody does is they say, oh, it's here, so it goes straight line down 3K, and it's not how it usually works, right? The thing we've talked about a lot, alt season into the retracement, we're seeing signs of that already emerging. You're reaching things that are moving their way up. We've seen 700, 600, 500. Some of you guys are chasing ridiculous ones. I saw you guys all sharing it over there on Twitter, like some SHX coin that was up 2,000%. All these influencers telling people to buy it, like up 2,000%. You guys are buying it. We have a lot of behavior of action like that happening in here. And if this distributes here for a while, like a lot of price action. And then, of course, just like every time, and like I don't know how many times I have to say it, this isn't the mark of the beginning. This is the mark of the end. And what happens at the mark of the end? You have all of the animal spirits alive. You have everybody feeling bullish, everybody feeling excited, everybody thinking things are going to the moon. Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, super big optimism in Bitcoin. If there's optimism in Bitcoin, there's optimism throughout the rest of the market. Those animal spirits get things moving. However, it's not long lived, right? And it's been the thesis since earlier in the year when I wrote my outlook for 2024 that we'll have an exciting time of the year, but there's going to be a point where it all turns around. I don't think we've gotten through that point when it comes to rotational plays within the market and distribution for Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin could stay here for months on end. People think, oh, you get here, 3K. No, you could sit here and you could do this. Months. It would drive people crazy. And that's just how things can go. But undoubtedly, if history is any guide, if this thing gets in motion, where's the NASDAQ? I've lost the NASDAQ. Oh, because I have 2 Dow Jones on the screen. And this thing gets in motion, right? Lights out. Now, what's something that, just because we've hit the 4.236 extension right now, does this mean lights out for the NASDAQ right here, right now? No. Like we've talked about this a lot too, right? In these circumstances, how did Bitcoin react in here? Right? That's how Bitcoin reacted, right? First, it hits the 4.236 extension. Go look at it. Right? Hits and then a second time. So it just doesn't just because we hit it doesn't mean that it's lights out from here. It could, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be, right? Like you could hang out here for a while, and we've seen behavior like that. And knowing this is the exact same behavior, right? Above the 3.618 extension, pulls back. We've studied all of this. I don't want to go into it today because I've shown you guys it 100 times that this exact behavior and this whole big rally right here is identical to this. Identical to it, right? How it ABCs and then it just shoots straight on up to it, right? ABCs and straight on up to it. And we could hang out here, right? Wouldn't it just be super appropriate? Oh no, there's lots of economic problems emerging. Hey, we're the Fed. We're here to save the day. We're going to go ahead and start doing some cuts. Oh, yes, I'm an influencer and cuts are good. Why? Because that's exactly what happened in the great financial crisis. Signs of trouble were showing up. Market pulls back. The Fed makes its first cut. Everybody misinterprets the cut as the Fed is going to save the day, and then the lights go out. So just because it's there, it doesn't mean it has to. And we have our examples we reference back to don't even show it happening in lightning speed like that. But we'll have to keep an eye on it, right? Oscar Hernandez, BCB, one choice, Superman or Batman? Smash the likey. I've never been into superhero shows. I'm always like, I'm stronger than that. Rashed Perry, what is your... Okay, fine. Superman or Batman. When I was a child, and I would play with... my cousin and I would wear Superman and Batman pajamas at our grandma's house. We'd stand on the top of the couch, lay out a bunch of pillows, and then jump from the top of the couch onto the pillows. This is all while I'm like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. I was Batman. Now when my son does that, I yell at him. I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to die. Yet when I was a kid, I did that stuff all the time. So I was Batman. Rash Perry says, what is your target for NASDAQ low? What kind of falling structure do you expect? I mean, it could take decades, man. I don't even know right now. It's just something I don't even think about at this point. Way down. Just way down. So like an example of what Bitcoin did in this exact circumstance, right? Where did Bitcoin go? It went to right there. And then bounced. Like an example of that, like Palladium. Look where Palladium is. Look at this thing. Sets this new high. Where is it? It's right here. All right, so that's this whole area way down here. Way down here. I mean, that would be a Great Depression scenario, wouldn't it? So, okay. I got to get through this before the stream kills me. Anthony Trujillo gifts 5 BCB memberships. Anthony, thank you very much. Ronick. Do you have targets for total 3 with Bitcoin going into a retracement? I actually don't. I actually don't have a precise number I'm looking for over there on total 3. I'm actually just going to be watching for the actual signs in Bitcoin. And the signs would be things like we've talked about in here, where we start seeing a bigger rally emerging from the altcoin market as Bitcoin is in distribution, and then Bitcoin being in some type of retracement. And if Bitcoin got into a retracement, like a 702 retracement or something like that, and we've watched this altcoin market continue another leg up, that's really just going to be kind of the spot. So it's less about an actual price target for the total 3 market cap, but more of price behavior of the relation of the two. That all the fun has worn off here. Everybody's chasing altcoins at that point. We see the excessive highs happening in the altcoin market while Bitcoin is not, and that would be the marker for me. Lenosec, hey BCB, what's your price prediction for Stellar Lumens? It follows so many XRP. It follows XRP, so my guess is like first bull run XRP. It follows XRP, so my guess is like first bull run XRP. What do you mean, like first bull run XRP? I don't know, man. Like, again, I talk about Stellar Lumens. I got a big problem with that, with it being so tied to XRP. It's too bizarre. It's weird. Not a big fan of that. If that doesn't rub anybody wrong or weird, you would think it would. I don't like that. Why are you not doing your own thing? Why are you so tied to XRP's price? To the second, right? It's weird. So I don't know, man. Anthony Trujillo. Soraben smart contracts for Stellar Lumens gets voted on today. Just an FYI. What if a fast and cheap Ethereum, by the way? Thank you for the course. It's life-changing. Hit the like. Thanks for all the good in the galaxy. BCB rock. Anthony, thank you. He said he liked bcbacker.com. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see activity over there in Stellar Lumens. We can maybe let's take a look at sentiment. Let's see where they come in at. Waiting for the stream to kick us one more time. All right, there you go. Who's the leaders? Internet Computer, Cardano, Polkadot, Kusama Hedera, Optimism. Status, think it's a flaw. I think that's a flaw, especially only 70 daily active addresses. Ethereum, Cosmos, Chainlink, Sui, Aptos, IOTA, Vega Protocol. I say the same thing about that. That one weirds me out. I don't trust that at all. Multiverse X, Flow, Avalanche, Decentraland, Audius. I'm not a big fan of that one either. I don't like that. Active Wallets, Arbitrum, ranked 20. Anybody who caught that newsletter? If you know, you know. Oasis Network. Near. See though, lots of those. Okay. Jordan's Vader says, do you have the Ethereum ETF in your expectation? Don't you think Bitcoin has to have one more lag up in May so the Ethereum ETF gets to sell the news and alts get effed after a good rally? And we see the like you're looking for a news wire to trade. Right? I don't need a news wire to trade. Right? I don't know what a narrative will be. I know you're trying to process what did the narratives have to be for things to play out. Typically, you're not going to know, and you just kind of have to roll with it when it's happening. Osmosis, Solana, Stellar. They're Stellar at 29. So there you go. They're working on it. Not in the top 20, but stuff going on. Thank you, Anthony. Ron, Adopter, thank you very much. Says, hey, BCB, I know that everyone wants to know about what regions do you see for the ABC on Bitcoin from 7 to 2. Much respect, and I really hope you're right. It would change lives. Yeah. Well, everybody's long. Everybody's long Bitcoin right here. All the ridiculousness on Twitter is absurd. I'm taking it on the chin. This would be a very common place for it to happen in the $42,000 to $44,000 region for an ABC, but it doesn't have to. Really just looking for the structure to show up. But if we got broken through there, that's where things start getting concerning if we get through there. So that would be kind of like lowest level of support, and it would be common for it to pull in here. But really getting below 41.5 or something like that be concerning. Otherwise, just bouncing around in here. It doesn't have to come down that low, but that would be a common place for it to go. Kind of like this, right? Give you an idea right here. Right, if you want to imagine this as a head and shoulder structure, right? I know you guys love those. Let's see. Right, so kind of think it like that, and that it pulls over here into that right shoulder, right? And find support in there from an ABC, right? Kind of thinking of it from that mindset. Really, I went that high? Okay. Anyway, you get it. Right? You got it. And that would be a common area to pull back down into. Alternatively, like you can look at them like this. Let's go back to the top of 2020, 17. Just even something like this, right? Not pulling back down that low. It's not going to do it on the 2 hour. Let's go to the 4. Like in this one, right? It fires up. A, B, C right here, right? Not as deep. Not as deep. The final little push in distribution. And then afterwards, you go to the retrace, right? It's the same concept. I know the structures look different, but they're the exact same concept of the 2021 top and the 2017. They just look different, but their concepts are the same. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So you're going to experience buffering, viewers. We're going to kill this thing. We're done. We're done. OG says, I had 20x on SHX and 10x on ABT. Would it be smart to... I really doubt you 20x on SHX. If you haven't rotated yet. You mathematically, that's not even possible. Because you should have already sold it if you did 20x. You had to literally buy the bottom and you had to have already sold it at the Pico top, which doesn't sound like you have. And 10x and ABT. Would it be smart to rotate gains into something like XRP, which hasn't moved yet? That's your choice, buddy, on rotations. You have profits. You sound like you have profits. Do whatever you want with them at this point. Nothing wrong with paying yourself. Do whatever you want. Silver Days XRP. We are beyond the Wyckoff accumulation of this market. So we are all betting that up keeps going, right? The lowest lows are gone. Missed them. Anybody who screamed for 12K and all that stuff, you missed the lows. If you held on to Bitcoin waiting, you've missed a lot of the good stuff. The good coins have already gone. If you want to go for XRP, go for it. Just have an understanding of where it's at, right? You go taking out these levels in here, trouble a brewing, right? Structurally, trouble a brewing. Otherwise, maybe. But have a plan, dude. Doesn't sound like you have one. if you're so good at 20xing SHX, why are you asking me? Silver Days. BCB is Batman. Smash the likes. Andy Philpott gifted 5 BCB memberships. Quinchones thank you very much, Andy, and thank you very much, Silver Days. Quinchones, does BTC ABC correction right now put XRP at risk of breaking under 54 cents if we are talking 10+% down in Bitcoin? Okay, so we're panicking, right? There's worry, there's scared, there's worry. That's the thing we're watching. The thing is expecting, oh, look at that whacker. Right? So looking for it to hold in here, right? Especially, and it's okay to wick below, but getting below 51 is where the concern is, right? But that's the thing we're talking about, ABCing and it being able to hold here. So keeping an eye on it. Silla, hey BCB, XRP hit 54 cents again. What do you think? Thanks. Not today. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I had a 54 on it. It has not hit it. And I would not doubt there's going to be wicks down in here. I don't think that's going to be the extent of it. Is Bitcoin getting wrecked, man? What a squeeze. What a squeeze. But yeah, Jordan's, I just don't know. Like for Ethereum ETF, it's just not my base. It's like not necessary. You know what I mean? Like I don't need that because it's just not how the market works. I know so many people just need narratives. I just don't need them, buddy. No, it's guys, it's like you aren't even close on Bitcoin. It probably waddles around for a while. You guys are multiple people like that's it, that's it, that's it. Like it's would be very normal if we stay here for weeks. Okay, weeks. Gator gifted 5 BCB memberships. Thank you very much, Gator. Thank you, thank you. Hey, BCB, Charlotte Gilmore says, hey, BCB, thanks for all that you do. My question is, can you shed more light on why Stellar Lemons is being tied to XRP bugs you? What should the rest of us be aware of? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've presented this many times on when like some really positive news happens for XRP specifically. What was the one that okay, the weirdest, wackiest one. All right. Like you look at how the rest of the market behaves and nothing else reacts like to some kind of news with XRP except Stellar Lemons. And one of them that was the most bizarre ones was when the cases, the charges against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson got dropped by the SEC. That is very specific to Ripple, XRP, Brad, and Chris system, right? XRP's price pops on that news. No other cryptos in the entire crypto market popped on that news. Why? It's not like it relates to anything with the rest of the market. It's not like it impacts securities laws. It was very specific to the founders or the CEO, the head people at Ripple, right? XRP pops. The only other coin to the 1 second time frame that follows it is Stellar Lumens. It's bizarre. Nothing else did. Super, super bizarre. Kevin, ignore my previous super chat. No, spicy. Kevin, I'm going to get you. Thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's why is it not doing its own thing? Why is it not having price impacted by its own ecosystem? Why is it having to be tied to the 1 second time frame on XRP in those situations? It's bizarre. OG Max says, yes, I bought it at a 3 million market cap. So yes, love BCB. Have you sold it? Yeah. The problem I have with that, I just don't want to give that coin any airtime. I watched way too many influencers shilling it on Twitter a couple of days ago. I watched the same behavior of the crowd, everybody chasing that coin, and then the rug pulled on it. So be prepared. We need to kind of talk about that behavior, guys, if you want. Get prepared. You guys know on this channel, I don't have any sponsorships. I get offered sponsorships all the time. It's, I get it. Everybody has to feed their family, right? If you're going to do this full time, if you're going to put your efforts into it full time, you're going to be making videos all day, researching, presenting that data. It's not charity work, right? Like it takes all day, and it takes a lot of effort and it's tiring. And so I don't have anything wrong with people having sponsorships or affiliate links for products that they care about, but it's not the one that I choose here, right? My model is, hey, check out my newsletter. Check out bcbacker.com, support the channel, right? But the other way people make money is like if you checked my DMs and you saw it, I am constantly being asked, what is my price? How much do I cost to talk about a token? How much do I cost to tweet about a token? All the time. And that I see that behavior returning already. And to be really mindful of it, I try to give you guys all the tools to be able to try to research and do stuff on your own. Go to Santiment, go to Developer Report. You can find stuff that people are working on that's exciting and has potential and all that stuff. You don't need to go to an influencer who's giving you hidden gems. But there's a million strategies they do it too. One of the common ways are... Here is my list of 10 coins I'm watching for 2024 bull run. 1, Bitcoin. 2, Ethereum. 3, XRP. 4, Solana. 5, coin I've been paid to shill. 6, right? Whatever, Cardano, right? That's the way it works. And you got to be careful with that stuff because that stuff happens out there. So just be careful, guys. It's a shark world out here. Okay. All right, I'm all caught up on chat and I'm spicy AF, so I'm done. Bitcoin almost at the 702. It's a nice short squeeze to hit it and just sharp rejection happening afterwards. Maybe the ABC has finally happened, but we still just remain up here underneath that 702 retracement. Catch me over there on Twitter today. I'm going to be on King Solomon's, or Genfinity, excuse me, I need to say it like that, Genfinity space today. And we'll be talking a lot about the stuff that I wrote about here in this newsletter. So a lot of times I go on there and I kind of spill the beans on what it's all about. So if you want to check that, you can check that out over there on Twitter. I'll retweet the link for that spaces today. That starts in about an hour from now, an hour and 12 minutes from right now. Otherwise, if you want to catch this, if you want to hear my beautiful voice read the whole thing to you and talk about the charts and what's going on in markets and the convergence and confluence of these events happening together and why this market does not scream the same things it has screamed for previous Bitcoin bull runs, take a peek over there at it. Otherwise, guys, check out bcbacker.com and have an absolutely wonderful day. I would say I'm sorry the stream has been cutting out, but YouTube is rugging me because 702 retracement and John Deaton, probably, right? So, congrats to John for running again. I feel like I hung out with a celebrity one time. That was me. I ate dinner with him. I bought him dinner and he eats medium rare steak, everybody. Medium rare. So he's a good guy. All right. I'm ending it. We're done. Game over. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream. Please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one!